I'd like to invite our first startup from Ghana, Mr. Emmanuel Noah, the founder and CEO of BenBen, to pitch the investors. We have 5 minutes to pitch, and then we give the investors another 5 minutes to ask questions.
All right. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Nice. My name is Emmanuel, and I'm from Ghana, CEO of BenBen, where we build digital solutions to release and unlock trapped capital in Africa's $8.5 trillion land market. There's a community in Ghana called BenBen. It's an 8,000 member farming community. It's brimming with potential. BenBen is mostly known for its lush landscapes and fertile farmland, but it represents even more than that. It represents a climate investment opportunity, an opportunity that stands to not only benefit the local community, but also the environment at large. However, there's a challenge in unlocking all of this value, and that is land rights. See, knowing who owns what land, where it's located, and what it's being used for is the first and most critical step to unlocking any form of land investment. In BenBen, most of this information is passed down orally, and the few that's ever recorded on paper never gets registered in the formal system. So what we realize is that as time passes by, all of this oral land history is beginning to fade away, leaving behind a trail of uncertainty and missed opportunity. And this is not just BenBen's story, it's a story that affects over 80% of communities across Africa. And these communities, as a result, are virtually data dark when it comes to large-scale land investors investing money into the continent. So it's a problem that got us thinking. How do we enable communities like BenBen to, 1, digitize their land rights, 2, exert their power of ownership, and transact fairly in land transactions? So this enabled us to create Keva. So at Keva, we enable local communities to digitize their land rights and participate in land-related investment decisions during and after the investment processes. So we have a web platform as well as an SMS messaging platform that enables local farm landowners and other local community owners who have rights within those lands to transact with project developers. Now, what this does is that we're able to gather this data and share it with investors, bringing transparency and visibility to these precious land rights. So in 2019, we began our work within BenBen. We were able to partner with Dev, a local land rights CSO, and Oko Forest, a carbon credit project developer. And together, we started a process of securing digital proofs of land rights spanning over 3,000 hectares, securing over 1.9 million tons of carbon credits, valued at over $60 million in revenue potential. So our business model, we charge project developers a one-time assessment fee for doing due diligence within these lands. We also charge a 1% commission based on the value of the carbon credits or nature-based solution revenues that are originated on top of the projects that we onboard. And we also charge an annual subscription fee for supplying land data insights throughout the cycle of the project. In the next 12 months, we are looking at securing land rights for an additional 600 farmers within this project area, since this is a community carbon credit project. We are also looking at onboarding an additional 2,400 acres of land onto the platform, as well as onboarding 5 communities. To achieve this takes a strong team. Myself, I have a background in land administration, where I've done work with the World Bank in drafting and formulating PPPs for the African land sector. I also advise on property reform under the Ministry of Trade through the Business Regulatory Commission of the Government of Ghana. So to scale up and advance our vision further, we are raising a $350,000 pre-seed round to support the conversion of our pilots into commercial stage, expand the size and capacity of our product development team, as well as develop large data insights out of our existing data sets that we've built over the years within Ghana. So if you're a climate investor, large-scale land owner or developer, or anyone in the nature space, do reach out and let's connect. Thank you.
Q&A session. This is specifically for investors to ask these gentlemen questions and see if you'd be interested in this idea. Let's go.
Hi, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Rachel McCauley from DRK. Very exciting solution. How are you measuring the impact specifically as you're rolling it out now, both on the carbon side as well as on direct lives?
So we're now in the implementation stage. What we realized that is in Africa, only 10% of land records are recorded and registered. So because of this, there isn't that much security in terms of continuity of the assets. So when we come, aside from gathering land data, we also issue records on the community level that show and prove legal ownership of the land. So that's the impact that we are looking at. We're looking at promoting generational continuity when it comes to the ownership of the asset. And also by focusing on nature and climate-based investment projects, we are making sure that investments that affect large-scale lands contribute to the natural capital of the continent as well. So that's the first stage that we are looking at.
Thank you. Can you tell us a bit about your team? You have an impressive background, but are you doing this alone?
Yes. Well, I'm not doing this alone. We have a team of 3, myself including 4. So our commercialization officer has experience as the head of innovation for Fidelity Bank Ghana. It's something that we really want to focus on, innovation and reaching those at the last mile. Our technology involves a lot of participation at the local level, so he handles the commercialization aspects of that, as well as how we engage the communities. We also have Chris, who's a geospatial expert. He's also worked on USAID projects, primarily humanitarian projects and mapping projects in Ghana. He handles our data collection around mapping records, as well as the data collection within the communities that we work in. Am I the one to select who speaks? So forgive me.
Is this going to, obviously you're highlighting the shortfall of what the government should have been doing, which is registering title deeds and not doing it properly. Obviously a lot of countries, as you say, don't have title deeds for much of the land, so it's not unusual. But isn't there a risk that at some point the government will say step in and try and take this over? How are you dealing with that and dealing with government? Are you seeing them as somebody you want to partner with and say, here is a solution for you, government, or are you, how you handle it? Could be the risk, it could be what helps you really scale, right?
So this is something that we started engaging the government on in 2017. So that's when I returned, around that time, I returned to Ghana from the States. I served as a property reform advisor, with business regulatory reforms in Ghana. So at the time, there was no national lands registry. But one of the things that we saw that was needed was that at least we should have a land information portal where citizens could transact. So we pushed those reforms, and we've made also a way, in most countries there's a pathway where you can have value-added services on top of what the government offers, and that's how we position ourselves within the market. So we are a private land information supplier. So in terms of clashes with the government, that isn't really so. They're actually looking for companies to actually carry out the digitalization in some way or form. Usually it's done in the back end of the government offices do world land projects and donor-funded projects, but we are approaching it from a market-based angle. So we're carrying our own store and repository of land information, but for now focusing on the rural land areas because that's 80% of Africa's land. So that's where.
I think time is up. We only have 8 seconds to go. If you'd like to further this conversation with this gentleman, please note that we've created for them some rooms on the other side. They're called deep rooms. So when we go for the tea break, the coffee break, you can further that conversation with him. Right?
So my room is on the left,
Yeah.
left-hand side. So if you have any questions, do stop by, grab some tea and chat.
A round of applause for him, please.